This meeting is being recorded.
Hi.
Hey.
Hold on.
Christina?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How are you?
Fine. I am almost to my destination in like 3 minutes. So,
Okay.
so I'll be able to get on camera and stuff too.
Okay, no worries. I think Sam is supposed to be getting on too, so let me message him and just see.
Okay, cool.
That'll give you a few minutes to not be
Yeah.
transitioning.
Right.
Okay. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Today is like kind of not a free day, but like a free day as far as like I don't have that much 9 to 5 work to do, and it's my son's birthday, so and I'm like getting ready to go get my nails done, so I'm good.
Good. So it's kind of relaxing day, I guess. Not as crazy as usual, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
So can you remind me what area do you live in? Like what's the
So
major area?
I'm in Dallas, Fort Worth. Well, Dallas, but I live in McKinney.
Oh, okay. So you're like
Yeah.
in, okay, cool. Kelly and I, so this is Kelly. She's also one of the like mentors, owners of School of Apartment Locating. So Kelly and I are both from Allen. So we like grew up in the area.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, how are you?
Doing good.
Oh my God, I miss my ex.
Oh.
Hey, Sam, are you on the call? I think I saw you jump on.
Yeah, just eating some lunch. I don't have any time to do it besides right now. I'll join you all in 5 minutes.
No worries. No worries. Everybody sounds like they're in kind of a transition. So awesome. Well, and Sam, this is Kelly. She's also one of like our mentors, and she's one of like the owners of School of Apartment Locating.
Hey,
So
how's it going?
okay.
Good, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
Um,
you guys.
so Sam, so Kelly's actually she lives in Lakeway, so she's kind of in like the Austin area. So just like I don't know if I'm telling you that, but I'm telling you that.
Are you in Austin?
Yep, I'm in Austin. I'm southeast Austin.
Okay. It's about to get crazy here with the eclipse, supposedly.
I can be able to see it, so it's supposed to be like
Yeah.
5 radio.
I saw that. I'm kind of happy. I mean, it'd be cool to see, but I'm like hoping maybe it'll keep some people out of our city.
Awesome. Cool. Well, I wanted to go ahead and dive in. I know all of us are super busy, so I just want to make sure that we can kind of touch on like lots of different things today. So, Christina, I know that you weren't on the call last time, but I think that you might have watched it. So I wanted to touch base, I guess, with Sam. Did you like implement any of the stuff that we talked about the last time, like with YouTube?
Last time I've made some more videos, but
Okay.
edited them yet. So I pulled them all down, and now I'm gonna start editing them. So I'm in the
Okay.
process of finally doing that, which is good.
Cool. Did you end up doing any like additional content that was not like real estate stuff that was more so, I don't know, like lifestyle stuff, I guess you would say?
Not yet, but that's my next phase. I wanted to get all the ones I had already, which were real estate, pulled down. Then I'm planning to go down the list of the social media content calendar and add those
Okay.
into it as well. So I have like 30 days of content.
Awesome. Super great. Well, I know that you are very on top of it with all of your content, so that's really, really great. I think that really, so we developed this program to help people with their apartment locating business. And, I always am very open and flexible. Like, if you guys are having struggles right now in your business, I'm very open to, you know, talking about those different struggles. So I wanted to just kind of leave the first part of this meeting up to that. Like, are you guys having any specific struggles in your business that's more so like apartment locating related, like you can't get paid or you're having trouble getting people to close? Is there anything specifically that we can touch on in the beginning of this meeting?
For
I just
me, oh, go
okay.
ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
ahead.
I was just gonna say for me, like it's getting people to, okay, I have sent you the list and then I'm following up and then like, and even with some, I'm scheduling you to tour and then you're not showing up. So do you like, or maybe you're just not getting back with me. So do you check in with the apartment community and say, hey, did this person ever show? Or do you do that?
Yeah, so like if it's somebody that I have a feeling they were very interested in the community that like when you know that they probably did go tour there. So in that case, I will call the property and say, "Hey, did you have somebody tour name so and so?" And that way it kind of helps me gauge what to do next. So if the community does say, "Yes, they did come tour," I've been talking to them, all of that, then I might text them and say, hey, I heard that you toured the community and that you really like it. Were you thinking about applying? So like I'll continue the conversation that way. If the community says no, they didn't come tour here, then I would just continue to follow up with them and maybe I would send them other communities that match what I know they're looking for. The biggest rule of thumb that I've learned just from being in this industry, because I used to work on site. I used to be a leasing agent. So something that I learned at one of my, I think it was my second leasing job, they were really, really big about we were supposed to follow up until the client asked us to stop. And I think that's like something I see a lot is a lot of agents will follow up maybe 2 or 3 times and then they just completely give up on them. And I, over the years, like I'll follow up with people 10, 15, 20 times and 6 months down the road, they'll message me and be like, hey, I'm so sorry I ghosted you. I'm actually looking again. So are you following up like consistently a lot or what's kind of like your style with your follow up?
I usually like do at least like once a week. I'll shoot a text or like I have this one girl, she came down here and she toured all these apartments that I set up for her. And now she has not, she had a plan to move mid-March and now she has not responded like the last 2 weeks.
Okay.
And so it's like, so now do I go stalk her on Instagram too and reach out, you know?
So I I wouldn't go that route because you don't want to sound like you don't want to seem like crazy and annoying. But what I would do is based off of like, so if the girl said, "Hey, I'm moving in uh May," then I probably would be following up with her 2 to 3 times a week because I know she's moving soon. Now, if this person said that they're moving in August or September, I might only follow up with them like once a week because I know they're like realistically they can't lease anything because we're not 60 days out. But if you know that she's moving soon, definitely I also would be following up with her very regularly. I think a really good rule of thumb to ask people is like, hey, and this is like something you can ask in the very beginning of the conversation with like the very first touch point is like, what's the best form of contact for you? Is it emails? Is it text message? Do you like talking on the phone? Because some people don't like texting, and some people don't like talking on the phone. Like, I think it's all strategies about asking like their preferred form of contact. Also, are you getting on the phone with these clients? Are you talking to them on the phone between like them reaching out to you and you sending them a list?
Yeah, so it depends on like what they prefer, like you said. So I had one guy who was like, yeah, I'm old school. I like to talk on the phone. And I was like, good, me too. You know,
Yeah,
so because that just makes it easier to get your point across.
right.
But then I have some people who are like, yeah, just text me because maybe I'm at work or I'm you know, so
Yeah.
it just depends. So it just
Okay.
depends what they, yeah.
So the biggest like thing that they'll always tell you is like if you can get on the phone with somebody, like they reach out to you, hey, where's that apartment? Oh, I'd love to tell you about it. What's a good phone number for you? They're gonna send it, and then I would text them and say, hey, are you free for a call? If you can get on the phone with
Ah,
somebody, you're
uh-huh.
way. And I always ask permission to call somebody. I'm not just gonna like
Okay,
them out of the blue. So, hey, can I have
okay.
your phone number? I'd love to send you the info. Then I text them, hey, are you free for a call? Once if I can get on the phone with them, that is such a good way to like pretty much ensure that if they end up moving, that they're probably going to work with you, because there's a million locators who are just texting people, sending lists. Like if you can get on a call with them, that's really a good idea. Now, if you can't get on a call with them, because me personally, I don't like talking to people on the phone that I don't know. So I also wouldn't be down to talk to somebody on the phone.
Right.
So if you can't get on the phone with them, then a really great rule of thumb too is I have a little, like, it's on my YouTube channel, and I can send it to you guys if I haven't already, but it's basically like a 20-second video, and it's me like talking into it. Hi, I'm Jordan. I just wanted to tell you how my free apartment locating services work. And then I go into like, it's
Okay.
free, this is how I get paid.
Yeah.
So like, if you can like get face to face with somebody, say they won't talk to you, that's fine. If they don't want to talk to you on the phone, cool. Send them a video of you, and you can
Okay.
just have the same video that you send to
Yeah.
every single client,
Okay.
because that's another way for them to see you. And it's like the moment that they see you, they hear your voice, like they realize that you're a human being, and they're way less likely to ghost you if they like have that personal connection with you.
Right. Okay,
Yeah.
that's a good one too. I should make a little video.
So, your client you said was gonna move in mid-March.
Yeah, so she came like sometime in February and toured, and she was like, well, she had these other job offers lined up, but she said the one she really wanted was like right in the middle of March. And so she was like, just follow up with me then. And so I did, and I've done that like the last 2 weeks, right? And I haven't heard anything from her. So she would have been moving, or she would have like wanted to move at this point.
Yeah. So Jordan actually taught me a good strategy with that. So if you know that your client's going to be moving, you sent them to tour, scheduled them, whatever you did,
Right.
and they're just ghosting you. I mean, I continue to reach out, but she said, she taught me that you could offer like a referral, which, because you're either going to get paid or you're not going to get paid.
A rebate.
A rebate. Yeah, rebate. Sorry. And so yeah, you just can text them and say, hey, did you end up moving? I'd love your new address or which property you moved to, so I know where to send the rebate to. And then usually they'll respond because they're like, oh wait, what rebate?
Yeah. Right.
So I mean, it's just a good way to try to get them to
Gotcha.
respond.
Gotcha. I like
Yeah,
that.
we don't offer rebates.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of companies that are like, oh, you can get this is like, except I mean, let me backtrack. We are trying a strategy right now with YouTube, which I think Sam and I talked about.
Yeah.
But as far as our normal marketing, we don't just advertise like, hey, we just give rebates to people. But if somebody ghosts us and I know that they're moving, I will be like, hey, I just need to know where to send your money to. And then they're like, oh, wait, like, and then what usually happens is they say, oh, I totally forgot to list you on the application. And then I just say, oh, it's okay. All you have to do is just email the leasing agent and CC me and let
Yeah.
them know that you forgot. So it's like, there's always a way. So
Okay.
definitely, if you guys get like stumped on anything, feel free to use that company, or not the company, the group chat that we're all in. That's why I have the group chat, so that we don't have to wait like between each week that we have these calls. Like y'all can just put something in the group chat, and I'm happy, Kelly's happy also to answer those questions. So I think, Christina, maybe with you and like feeling like some people, like maybe you're having a hard time like closing the people, I think that
Yeah.
it could just be different strategies, because it's great that you're getting leads.
Yeah.
Like that's great. So maybe it's just like different strategies as far as like making sure that you're a little bit more strategic on like how you're talking to them. I think this all boils down to, and Sam, I'll get to like what you were gonna like chime in here in like 2 seconds, but I think that's like another piece of this is building a personal brand is so important. Because I've realized that when I was heavily doing YouTube content or Instagram content, like people resonated with me as a person. And so they weren't just reaching out to me to like find out the apartment community or getting a list. Like they wanted to work with me. So I think that a lot of people feel like they're having trouble with like I feel like, I guess what I'm trying to say is I feel like we are here to answer questions about apartment locating and strategies and stuff like that, but my experience over the years, just mentoring and working with agents, I feel like a lot of it actually boils down to building a personal brand and marketing. Because if
Yeah.
you have a personal brand, people are gonna like, they don't want to like screw you over. They don't want to ghost you. They like you. So
Right.
I think a lot of these problems can all be like not solved, but they can be
Yeah.
minimized by
Mhm.
having just a really strong personal brand, a personal presence, like all of that. So
Right.
that's what we'll touch on here in a bit if we have time. So Sam, what were you gonna say is like some things you are like, I don't
Oh yeah.
know.
I was just I like your point there because I had a similar thing where I had a client, two clients who I'd worked with before. One came to my listing and he didn't get a they didn't get approved because their credit wasn't good enough for the owner. And then another client I had who I worked with last summer when I just first started, and he was these are the most pickiest clients I've ever had. And he came back and was like, oh hey, I have a friend who's looking to move here. So I sent him the list of places, set up appointments. He went to the places, and then he's like, I want a discount on. She wants because it was for a friend of his who's moving from India. So he wanted a discount on one of the properties for that she liked. Uh, I got that for him, but they didn't answer because it was Good Friday. So I got on the call with them on Monday, got the discount he wanted. Then he just said, "Oh no, she applied somewhere else already." That I did not send her to. And then the other guy who I had had before, who had his credit wasn't there, he just kind of just randomly just ghosted me after I found the place for him. He started the application. I already talked to the complex, but just both gone.
Yeah. Well, I will say that um you know, it's I think it's also a mindset thing with our industry that we just have to know that we're going to lose some and we're going to win some. Like there's sometimes like there's nothing that you could have done better. Like people are still just going to ghost you. But I think that it's really important to just try to have different strategies that I think will minimize the amount of people that do ghost you. But that's not to say that it won't ever happen again. I mean, you just have people, I think like with the way that technology is, people feel like, oh, well, I can just go find this information online, which is why it's so very important for us to like go above and beyond and build a personal connection with them so
Mhm.
that they don't feel like, oh, well, they didn't text me back or I don't feel like talking to them right now. I'm just going to do my own research online. Like, I think just really making sure that we are stepping out of the box of like what every other apartment locator or real estate agent does and just building a personal connection. They already know your brand because they see you online. And then when you are talking with them, like you're building human connection. You're not just texting them. But that's to say though, like it's still gonna happen. I think another thing is too, are you guys really good about making it very crystal clear that you work on commission?
Hmm. I mean, I don't specifically say that, um, but I guess I probably should translate that or say that more very upfront. Like, I work on commission, so but I don't know. A lot. It's like I've had issues. I mean, I still close a good amount. So like, this is probably just crying with a spilled milk, really, just a small amount of
Yeah.
stuff. But it's just like
Yeah.
I've done like in-person tours with people, and I've done like Zoom calls before. I send the list over to them as to kind of walk through what they want. But still, people just still ghost shit quite a bit. It's like I have a better success with people I never talked to on the phone who I just send over there, and they end up like picking that apart of it. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, well, I will say two things. So it is so important for us to be explaining to our clients why our services are free.
Mhm.
So important. And even if somebody ghosts me, I have no shame. I will message them and be like, hey, I'd really love to know where you lease. You know, we work on commission only, and like the apartments don't let us know if you lease somewhere. I would really love to be given credit for my service, my free services to you. Like, there's no shame in your, I mean, this is how we make money. So I will say a lot of people have no idea that we work on commission. Zero.
Mhm. Yeah.
So if we're not telling them, like I will literally, if they reach out to me, like the first point of contact, that's like the video that I'm sending them. This is how my services work. This is why it's free. This is how I get paid. or I'm telling them on the phone. Then after I send the list to them, again, please let me know where you're interested in touring. I do work on commission, so I'd love to be the person who can set up tours for you. Just so I'm like in the loop as far as which ones you're interested in. Like I tell them probably 3 or 4 times how I get paid, and then I work on commission. But people, you're right, they still will ghost you. But I've noticed, like, it's not that you're guilt tripping them, but it's like once they kind of understand what's going on, how you get paid, you're a human being, like they are less likely to do it. But I also will say, I think that the people that require a lot of work, it always seems like those are the people that end up ghosting you.
Yes.
Like,
Always.
always. So, or the ones that have 1,000,001 issues, like I need a discount, I have a felony, I have a broken lease, my credit sucks. Like those are usually the people that are, they usually end up ghosting you, which is why, again, like well, you guys don't know because you haven't like seen the apartment locating training that we offer, but there's a reason why we focus on luxury high rises. It's not because the commission check is bigger, it's because of a million reasons. Like we typically get paid quicker because the leasing agents like working with locators. The clients typically are realistic about what they want. Like their budget can get them what they want. They usually have good credit scores. They usually are pretty serious people because they probably are like responsible adults. They have good careers. Like there's 1,000,001 reasons why we focus on marketing luxury high-rise clients. And it's not like the commissions amount is like the last thing. It's just we've noticed it's so much easier to actually close and work with those clients and work with those apartment communities to get paid than it is like the average person.
$1,500 apartment.
Yeah, like it's, I don't know. It's just, to me, like I was talking to an agent yesterday and they were like, well, I really want to do a lot of volume as opposed to the quality of clients. And I'm just like, look, you could have 50 people you're working with that are all looking in that sweet spot of like 1,300 to maybe 1,500. Like you could have a lot of people in that range, but you're going to do twice as much work than if you're working with like people that maybe you don't find all the time, but like, you know, the higher end people. So that's just something that's like really important to think about. But I also was going to say too, I'm really big about energy and like listening to my intuition and all of that. If you have a feeling like this guy that was trying to get you to do a discount for him, I mean, you could try, but I usually like I feel like we always kind of know when somebody's like, I don't know, kind of not feeling really great. So I'm really big about listening to myself. And if I feel like a client is just dragging me all over the city, all over the place, like I'm going to still try to help them. But I also I've already mentally kind of told myself, like, I have to be okay with this if this doesn't work out type thing.
Absolutely. That's why I did a send for him, because I was like, I remember last time I drove all over the city showing him his 3 friends' houses. They wanted a house that had exactly the same sized bedrooms. And I was like, that's impossible, because everyone's going to have a primary bedroom at some house.
Yeah.
But I also too agree with the point you had about price point, because like for my rental house listings, if I had one listing like below 2,000, those are the hardest ones to fill. There's always so many problems with the people with like everything. 2,500 and up is like where I target. Unless my biggest client has one that's lower, I'll take it because I gotta take all this stuff anyway. But otherwise, I totally agree with you. My numbers also prove that out too. So I think going higher end is probably what I need to also change my business, because a lot of places I have marketing are lower end ones. But I think I need to also take note and do higher price ones. There's not as many high rises in Austin. I've seen. I was trying to find some to film last week with a social media guy I met, but there just weren't. There's ones that they do have don't pay the best commission, and there's a few, but there's not too many, like maybe 10.
Have you been to that new, is it, I think it's 6G, is that?
I haven't been there yet.
I don't think it's like, I don't think there's a building there. I think it's like under construction, right?
I want to say it's open now. There's like a few really good ones that are just now opening up. I need to go down and film as well. I'm about to do my research and come up with a list, and I can send that in the group chat. But another good new property is Solomon ATX.
Yes, I was gonna say that.
I may go tour there on Friday, but it's not a high rise, but it's on like 51st Street on the east side of 35.
Oh yeah, that's really
It's
nice.
beautiful.
Yeah, so I was gonna say that, Sam. So I actually was gonna move to Austin,
Oh yeah.
so I've done all the research about all the high rises, because I'm really big about natural light. So I
Yeah.
always want apartments that have floor to ceiling windows, even if they're not high rises. So that Solomon property I found, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is gorgeous, because I didn't want to live in a high rise, but I still wanted floor to ceiling windows. So I think with Austin, you're right. There's not a ton of high rises, but there's still very luxury communities, because Austin has people moving from all over, like New York, Miami, LA. Like there's a lot of money in Austin. So it's like there's nice apartments. They just might not be high rises. So I think you can definitely still find those types of clients.
Where do you find your news or information on new apartment buildings going up?
I'm just like a stalker on. I'm just like constantly looking. I'm trying to think how I found that Solomon place. I don't know. Like when I use smart apartment data, I just kind of like search properties that are brand new. And with the Solomon, the way I found that one is that it showed on smart apartment data that they don't pay locators, but oftentimes with brand new apartment communities, it's like smart apartment data hasn't talked to them yet, so they don't know what their locator commission is. So like to me, I saw that they paid nothing to locators, but I also saw that they were brand new. So I never called and confirmed. I don't know, Kelly, did you call and confirm if they pay locators?
They're in smart apartment now. I think it's 100%.
Oh, yeah. So it's possible that if you go and look on whatever software that you're using, if it's a brand new community and it shows 0%, I would just call and double check, because it might be that they're just not updated yet.
Okay. Yeah, I use Smart too. I have a subscription to Spark. I was just trying it out to see which
Are
one.
you liking that?
I don't know. I feel like I'm just like an old school, stuck with the Smart.
Yeah.
I'm sure Spark
I
is
saw
better UI-wise, but like I kind of like Smart more. I don't know.
Yeah. I think it's Spark that's supposed to like update more frequently than Smart does. So that's the only reason why I was thinking about transitioning to that. But I haven't tried it yet, so I wouldn't fully commit. But
Well, we have some insider information about apartment data companies. So I also talked to the guy at Spark, and ironically, the same day that I talked to him, we also had a meeting with these people out of LA, and I will say that basically in a nutshell, like we after talking to the Spark people and talking to these people, we ended up moving forward with these other people that are coming out of LA, and they're piloting their program in Texas. So like I think we're one of two brokerages that are piloting it. But what's amazing about this software is that they actually like, you know how Smart they have a call center that calls and like updates pricing pretty much. And same with Spark. Like Spark has somebody who calls and gets pricing. So you know all the apartment communities, their pricing can change every day depending on like leasing. So with this other company, which I'm not going to tell you guys the name of it until we're done with the pilot, which hopefully it's probably up today. Like
I think we have another week, I think.
Okay, yeah, we had 2 weeks to be able to try out their system, and we're also helping them kind of engineer based off of what we need in the Texas market, because they're from LA. But what's amazing about this system, amongst many other things, is that they actually have contracts with all of like Greystar, Yardi, YieldStar, Rent Cafe, like so their pricing integrations will reflect on this software. So it's not like, so instead of us having to like pull a list, go to the company's website, like all of that stuff. Like it's supposed to be reflective on there. They're also going to do all of the invoicing too. So you know how you can send an invoice through Smart Apartment Data? Well, they actually do the collection for you. So instead of us having to make sure we're set up as vendors or make sure that we sent our W-9, which
Mhm.
y'all might not do that. Maybe your broker does that for you. But they also, like, since they have partnerships with all of these huge companies. They're basically like streamlining the invoice process too, so that we'll get paid so much quicker, so that we're not having to go and jump through all these hoops of fires to make sure that we're like set up.
Mhm.
There's a lot of different like features about this system that when I met with them, I was like mind blown, because I've been in the industry a while. And everyone tries to like make a better smart apartment data. But when I found out that they like actually have spent millions of dollars partnering with like Graystar and like Roscoe, all these companies, I was like, okay, y'all are actually doing it the way it needs to be
Invested. Yeah. Uh-huh.
That's
That's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah, I'm
done.
excited to see what they do when they come out with their product. Because I
Yeah.
don't think it's that much better than Smart. It's like, I think it's kind of worse in some ways, because I was looking at one apartment on Spark and then one on Smart, and the one on Spark didn't have that it was actually 15 months and up to make a commission on it, where Smart actually had that listed. So I was like, that's my fear with Spark. I feel like it's just not as accurate as Smart.
Yeah, I think that the people that are doing the other software, like they've been in this industry for a long time, but they've just been doing it in LA. So like they've raised capital, like this is like a whole like huge company. And
Mhm.
it, to me, the vibe I got from Spark is that it seems like it's kind of like not that the other company's not a startup, but it just kind of seemed like not as corporate and well put together. There's a lot of money and funding behind this other company, so like they're actually doing it really great. So yeah, that's just my experience. But I also don't want to like advertise about it until I've personally tried it. We've just had several like calls with them. Kelly's, I know, gotten on it and tried it, so I just definitely want to look at it too. But okay. So we're at 12:30 right now. Is there anything else that you guys want to touch on as far as things that you guys have been struggling with this week? And then if not, we'll dive into some personal branding stuff.
Mhm.
No, I just have a question. I didn't get to finish the whole YouTube video that you guys talked about last week, so I don't know if you touched on this, but like when you do a video on YouTube, like how are you collecting the leads? Like do you have a link, or like what's your call to action there from YouTube?
That's a good question. I don't think we talked about that.
Okay.
So with YouTube, I make sure that in my about section on my YouTube that has my contact info.
Okay.
It'll have like my phone number, my email address. It'll also have like a contact forum, like landing page type thing. So
Okay.
it'll have all of those things. Then when I'm posting the video, in the description of the video, it also will have all of that same
The same
info.
thing.
Then
Okay.
also on the video, like actually on the video,
Yeah.
I'll usually will try to put like on the bottom of the video my phone number, and
Okay.
throughout the video, it's consistently saying like free apartment locating services. Here's my
Uh-huh.
phone number. And then it's also doing the call to action, like contact me. So
Okay.
it's like my contact info is every single
Yeah.
place you put it.
Okay.
But I think most importantly, it needs to be in the video, like actually on the screen of the video,
Yeah.
because a lot of times people watch content and they don't go to the description, they don't go to your about section. I know I don't really. So
Yeah.
it's really important that it's like actually on the screen somewhere.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And I will say too, as far as like I mentioned links. So I've seen a lot lately that people are doing those like Google type forum things. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Yep, I have that on my website.
Do you feel like you get a lot of leads from there? Like that, or people that go and fill that out?
What I usually do is as like a filter for my rental house business. I just have people fill out all the information there, because for rental houses, you don't want to have to drive somewhere and then find out someone's got like 15 broken leases,
Yeah.
400 credit score. So I gotta filter everybody out before I even show up at the door. Um, but yeah, I use it for that and it works really well. It's a good filter system.
Yeah.
Apartment somewhat. It ends with a Calendly link too, so I can schedule a time to meet with me for like 20 minutes as well. So that's also been helpful.
Is there a way that you can make them look more? Because the ones I've seen, they're very like they just really bland. Like they just like all white. Like there's not like it doesn't look exciting. I don't know if you know what I mean, but is there a way to like
I have a
like
job form.
yeah.
I use Google Form for my rentals because I did a lot of rentals, but for apartments I created a job form and it's free, and I like the look of it a little better as far as like if you're using it, like say for instance if the tenant is filling it out from their phone, it's like popping up one question at a time and then it's clicking next. I feel like it looks a little better than the Google form page. But
Yeah.
that's just me. But I like both of them because, like you said, it filters out. So you don't want to waste your time.
No, for sure. I forgot. I also think I have a job form too. I forgot about that. Well, I guess my question is about asking this is I feel like when I've seen these like Google form things, even job form, like to me, um, what Kelly, I think Jen, somebody was talking to us, one of like our social media people was talking to us. Like to me, it's kind of like a stop in the sales process. It's like they reached out to you, they like you, cool, awesome. And then you're like, hey, fill this out. And then they're like,
Yeah.
whoa, I have to do something. And
Yeah.
so I've noticed, like, I always think about how I like to get sold to. And so I know that to me, if somebody were to send that to me, I would just like not want to fill it out. But I do understand like on like the rental, like the residential stuff, like
Right.
I get that, like totally get that. But on like apartment locating stuff, like I feel like because apartment locating is something that they don't need you, like they don't have to have you to go tour. Like I feel like the more that we can remove these like stops in our
Mm-hmm.
sales process, the better. And then I also feel like too, like when we're sending those links to people, it's like it's a moment for you to be building a personal connection with somebody by asking them those questions yourself. Yes, it's kind of annoying to like be asking that, and eventually hopefully we'll get so busy that we'll have assistants that are doing that stuff for us. But I do think that it is really important with apartment locating clients that we try to have those conversations like real time. But I also think too, if you don't want to go that route, I think that maybe even exploring getting like your own personal landing page that has like your face on it, like has certain branding colors. Like I think that looks a little bit more personal than getting sent like to me like what looks like an equivalent of like an Excel spreadsheet that's just like asking questions. I don't maybe you can do that with job form, like maybe you can customize it. But I also think too, like if you guys don't have your own personal websites right now, like I would definitely do that. Even if it's just like a one-page website that just all the stuff that you ask in your Google form thing or your form thing, it can just be like on Squarespace, you can just have a contact form thing. And I have noticed like with the YouTube videos, this is like I'm circling all the way back around to the YouTube. We had a lot of people that would fill out those forums. And one of the questions is like, how did you hear about us? Because I want to know what marketing is working. And it was always YouTube. But I just feel like intuitively, I feel like if I would have had like a Jot forum or a Google form, whatever those things are called, if I would have, if I would have had one of those things versus like a professional website, I really think that I probably would have gotten less leads. That's just my intuitive like thought.
Yeah. And I do actually like GoDaddy. So I have like a GoDaddy account, and so you can create a website. And so I did do that, and it allows you to like JobForm allows you to like embed your questionnaire or whatever onto your website. I just haven't published my website yet, my apartment locating website. So, and you could probably do it some other way within GoDaddy as well, like ask those same questions like you mentioned. So I would like to transition to that though. So That's on my goal, my to-do list.
Does GoDaddy allow you to, like, is it your own URL? Like, is it like
Yeah.
apartmentlocator.com?
So right now, like, it's like, oh, it's not published, so I don't know. So, but you can create it to whatever. Yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have like 4
Yeah,
websites that I use, but I just have different like subdomains. So I have like
Right.
apartment.samsells.com, construction.samsells, then I have rentals, landlord, and
Yeah.
www.samsells.com, which is the
Yeah.
main, which is connected to the IDX for real estate or for like.
Right.
Yeah, no, that's great. We we have a bunch of websites too that all point like because anytime I find a URL that's not active, like free apartment locator, like stuff like that, like I just like or Dallas high rises, like rental, like some like anything. I always just buy them and then point them all the same place. But I definitely, if you guys already have websites, I would try to put like a contact me thing and just replace the other thing, like the Google form, because I feel like if people are going to a link, again, this is like me, like this is what I'm thinking, and I feel like I'm probably on point with like a lot of people. Like if I'm going to an external link that you sent me, I might start looking around on your website and I might be like, oh, this guy's legit. Like he also does rentals. He also does new construction. Like I might start like sifting around on your website. But if you just send me like a link, I'm already just kind of like, like it's like I'm not excited anymore.
Yeah.
But if I'm going to your website, then I'm like stalking you and I'm trying to figure out like, wow, like this person's really experienced. So
Right.
I would definitely consider trying to like integrate that on your website, and it makes you look more professional too. You look more legit.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this then. So like for my website, I have like an intro video on the top where like I got an Upwork person that does like an intro about my services and what apartment locators are. Then I got like 4 or 5 testimonials below it, and then
Awesome.
like above that and below it, I've got like a contact me or see how I can help you find your next apartment kind of thing. Then it brings it to my type form, and the type form I have is I kind of customized it, so it has
Okay.
like pictures and videos in there that are kind of funny.
Oh, then perfect.
So it makes it more like interactive, and it's just kind of going one screen at a time. So you're not like seeing this like massive thing of like things you got to fill out. It makes it a lot better for completion. My completion rate's pretty good for it, so it's been pretty good for that.
Good. Well, I think the ones that I'm talking about are just like they have like 10 questions and then they're white. Like they just look like an Excel spreadsheet. I see that all the time. And also like I've noticed too, some of the agents I've talked to, they'll have questions about like, what's your credit score? What like they'll ask stuff that I'm like, if somebody's never met you before, they're not gonna like give you that information. So that's something too that I've seen like a lot of people do, that they put in those forums because they're like, oh, well, I'm trying to like vet them, which I get, but I also just feel like there's kind of a point where you need to like build some trust before you start asking questions like that. But that's good. It sounds like you have all of your stuff super set up to where it like doesn't look like one of those things that I'm talking about.
Are you asking for a credit score though?
Uh-huh.
I do ask them for a credit score and if they have a broken lease or eviction or a felony.
Yeah, I think that like this is just my thought. If I'm marketing more towards like higher end people, yes, you're and like I say all this stuff with a grain of salt. Like, yes, you're gonna get people that have shitty credit, like even if they're looking at nicer communities, maybe. But I just in my mind, I already am thinking that I'm targeting this certain demographic, and like this certain demographic probably has their life together, and like if they have outstanding debts, they probably paid them off, like all of that. So I don't typically have that stuff because again, like if I'm working with like if I'm marketing on my social media accounts a $8,000 penthouse, and then I send them my link, and then my link is like, do you have any felonies? Do you have a 500 credit score? They're gonna be like, what type of people does she work with? You know what I mean? But I think that like it is like I understand why you do it, like especially for the rental stuff, because like man, that is frustrating. Like showing private rentals, come to find out they're like all kinds of crazy background stuff. I understand why you do that, but also I don't know. I just think that if you think about the guy, I don't know, any of those people that are like $1 million listing, like, I don't know, like, I feel like they probably aren't asking them if they have felonies on their background, but who knows? I could be wrong. These, again, just my intuitive thoughts.
I think you're definitely right. I just think for what I've been targeting, the group I've been targeting, it's kind of been necessary. But like
Yeah.
over to luxury branding and luxury apartments, then I don't really probably need to be concerned about that as much. Because then what you were saying before about the prices being lower, more problems, and I also can say the same on my side too. I think if I just raise the price of where I'm targeting, I think that would be the biggest change for not having to ask all those questions. And then
Yeah.
it reduces the friction about going from, prospect to client.
Yeah. I mean, it does happen. Like, I'm not gonna say that it doesn't not happen, but I just feel like it
Less
lowers.
Mhm.
Yeah. Because if you think about it, if somebody's like, oh, I'm trying to find like a $1,500 apartment in downtown Austin, like they're already scraping by probably like financially, which is fine, like no judgment. But it's like, but I'm like, okay, so what's your credit look like? Do you pay your bills on time? Like all of that. So and again, no judgment. Like we've all been through like, hard times financially, but I just like on a being as far as trying to be like productive and efficient, like I do think there's different strategies to just try to like tap into.
Mhm. Yeah, that's definitely what I'll start doing. I say stop marketing these lower priced ones, taking them all down from my posts.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing too. That's my goal this week.
Sam, did I tell you about one of the agents? She's my friend now, but she used to work for me. And so she had just moved to Dallas. She didn't know, she was brand new to real estate, didn't know anybody, but she loved YouTube. So she made a video about like, I don't know, it was like something like $1,000 apartments in Uptown or $1,200 apartments in like something like that. And first of all, the video got so many views. She got all of these awful clients and she kept telling me, she's like, I want to take this video down. Like, this is so annoying. And I think she ended up like, she did take it down for a while, but then she put it back up just because she also like monetizes off YouTube. So she wanted the views. But it was just one of those things. It's like, yeah, you're getting a lot of clients, but like, you don't really want those clients because you can't find apartments for $1,200 in Uptown. It just doesn't happen.
No.
So yeah, so those are definitely like things that like we want to think about.
Yeah, that's why I made the same mistake when I first started. I was marketing this one property for rent. So I asked this other agent if I could market his property. It was in the worst neighborhood I have ever seen in Austin. And honestly, anywhere else I've ever lived, it was wild. This one block was just like, and I got all these people who came because it was so cheap and it was like so close to downtown. But then they all have problems with like credit, this or that. So yeah, I was like, I had a whole month of all these people who were just still reaching out to me.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. That's why again, like being super strategic about like who we're marketing to, what we're marketing. A lot of people will come to me and they're like, well, I mean, I don't want to just help these certain types of people. And I'm like, it's not about like we never turn people away. We still work with them more than likely, but it's just we are just more strategic on like what we're kind of putting out there on the internet, what we're putting out there energetically, like, hey, I want to work with really high-end clients, so I'm going to put that out there. So, but okay, so it's almost one. So I'm glad like we had a lot of these conversations because these are like important things to like touch on. I do want to give you guys like some sort of homework. So both of y'all have the social media calendar, right?
Yes.
Christy, do you know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about?
Is it the one that you posted in the group chat? It was like
Probably.
blue. Was it like blue
Yeah.
background? Something?
Yeah.
I think.
So I definitely would go through. I think I also included like the scripts too. Is that in there, Christina, as well? Like it might
Let
not
me
be.
I saw there's
Because
some stuff somewhere.
okay, cool. Then yeah, that's probably that. So I think maybe just reading through those and just if you haven't already, just reading through those because I think those can kind of be helpful as far as strategy when you're talking to people. like that. And if there's like if you're struggling in a certain area, please let me know, because I'm more than happy to make other resources like that. I've been doing this for so long, so like it just sometimes I forget about things that maybe like wouldn't be second nature to somebody.
Right.
So if there's like, if for instance, if you feel like your people are ghosting you, like let me know and I can see about trying to make some sort of a script for something. But there's several different scripts that definitely I think y'all should read through just to kind of see maybe if there's a way that you should tweak something, the way that you're talking to somebody. But also with the social media calendar, I'm personally challenging myself like this week to get back on social media. I've kind of taken a hiatus from posting because I've been in the process of like figuring out where I'm going to live and moving and all of that. So now that I'm kind of settled, I'm like, okay, I need to dive back in. So I want all of us to like, you don't have to go from the social media calendar, but I do want us all to like really focus on trying to be consistent, like posting every day, maybe every other day on at least 2 social media platforms, because kind of what I talked about earlier, the majority of all of our problems can kind of be eliminated or like minimized if we really have a true, strong personal brand and just social media presence. People know you, all of that. So in order to do that is like we have to be consistent on social media and not just like posting cute apartment videos or badass houses. Like we need to also be like showing up on social media and getting these potential people to like us, to know us. And they're way more likely, like even if you don't have a lot of followers, like it doesn't even matter. Like if you have 50 followers, we need to get those 50 people to like you enough that they're going to refer their friends to you. So
Right.
I just wanted like for our homework this week, like read through those scripts and then let's dive into social media. We're really about to jump into like leasing season, and we just need to have our personal brands like on the way to get rolling. So in order for us to just kind of hold each other accountable, I just wanted to make like a homework assignment so that if you're posting, like you can, like I haven't posted yet today, but I'll comment later on the group chat and say like, hey, I posted, this is what I did. And even if y'all want to send your social media links on the group chat, then I can go follow from all of our accounts, like our business accounts. And if I'm on that account and I see your post, and I can like and comment, because I'm sure you guys are aware that the more like engagement it gets, the better. So if we all have our social media platforms, then like we can all do that for each other, if that makes sense.
Okay, cool. Cool.
I'm in.
Oh, cool. Let's do it. I know. I've like literally been off. I was looking at my YouTube channel. It's like my last video was posted like 45 days ago. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. I tried to post a short on my YouTube the other day and it only got like 8 views. And so I was like, it had
Yeah.
been so long since I posted anything, so I'm like, okay, let me get it together.
Do you guys follow the School of Apartment Locating Instagram?
Oh,
Yeah,
YouTube.
I definitely do. Yeah. On
Okay.
Instagram I do.
So there's a video. It's like, I guess it's the 6th one down. So it's like me. I'm in sweats and I'm in like my new apartment. And so I posted that on Instagram, and like I tagged all of our accounts, like my personal account and our business accounts. So it got like a good amount of views on Instagram. It's almost at 3,000 views on Instagram. But on YouTube, I posted it on my personal YouTube and my business YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And on our business one, it got like 1,200 views, and we got like several subscribers from it. And we don't have that many subscribers
Wow.
on YouTube or on our business YouTube. So
Yeah.
like I say all that to say like I just post the same thing everywhere, and
Mhm.
sometimes it hits, sometimes it doesn't. Yeah, like it's so crazy. Like YouTube is awesome, I swear. Because I'm looking at some of these reels and like they're all of a sudden blowing up for no reason. Like I'm getting subscribers from stuff that I posted like 2 months ago. So
Right.
definitely like get on YouTube, get on TikTok, and let's do this challenge and hold each other accountable this week.
Okay.
Alrighty, guys. And as always, if y'all have any questions or
Mhm.
anything at all, feel free to message them in the group chat. And then I will see you guys, I guess, next time we have a call.
All right.
Okay.
Good.
Cool. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Bye. Nice to meet you.